Good evening, everybody. Closing wrap up here. Mike Vacchi, Princetontrader. Daily chart. So look, we talked this morning. It was close. They hadn't quite clipped the. Lower band. Lower band kind of rose up a little bit. Met price 43.01 was the low of the day. They could not take out the roundie. So what we're going to talk about here for the next couple minutes, this won't be a very long one, but the pattern today was the inverse of what we've seen over the course of the last few days. Instead of making highs and bringing it in over the course of the day, we made lows in there early in the day, and they took it up. So it will be the whole thing we'll talk about in the morning is how and what the structure would be if the bulls were able to follow through on this, and what would the impact be if the bears can still, break 77. Hourly chart, and we've had all these consolidations. Just move this over here. The bands got particularly tight this morning. They really squeezed in here. And you had a couple of looks at the down that they rejected 9 o'clock into 10 o'clock. Then they took it over the top. It was muted, though. It was muted. Considering the consolidation from the breakout point of, call it 43, 43.15, 43.18, they did, 55.75. So they did 40 handles. They took it right back in there, back down to 27. They did close above the hourly mid, which is 24. But, we're here. So it's not a real blast off. It's certainly not the blast off that a lot of people were looking for as far as, can we get something going that's going to run a bit. So as we get into tonight, what does this hourly mid-band do? Do we start to live below it again? Can we take out the high from today as we get into tonight? I think they're certainly going to try. Or is this just a little bit of profit taking and we're going to be back to business as usual tomorrow down below 77? 5-minute chart. Here's your open, 9:30. Open at 07. Okay? They take it down a little bit. Here's your low of the day, 9:40 in the morning. Up, they really catch them leaning here. Because everybody that was running the normal pattern for the day was like, okay, here's your morning high. Here it comes again. Buckle up. And they rejected it there with, I don't even know how many attempts they made at 4,300 today to 4,304 to 4,300. Then they make the higher high. And once they were able to make that higher high, they could run it up a bit. Now, the afternoon was kind of a mess. Here's your afternoon. From 1 o'clock on, just kind of a range-bound mess. But the important takeaway is they did the inverse of these opens. The opens have been make a high, go down over the course of the day. This was make a low, go up, flatten it out. They didn't launch pad it. They didn't go to the moon, but they did flatten it out. So something else to look for tomorrow. Are we back to dips in the morning that get bought? Or is this a one-off? The whole thing about tomorrow is going to be, is today a one-off? We'll have to see. All right, like I said, quick and dirty. Everybody have a fantastic night. Go check us out over on Circle. Subscribers, we'll have the subscriber webcast about 8 o'clock tonight. We'll do it live. We'll have the chat box open if anybody has questions. We want to talk about the setups that we were in today and how things set up for tomorrow. And I want to do a little bit of a weekend review to talk about how we're kind of, put it all together and how that looks for next week. So everybody have a fantastic night. I will catch everybody else for the daily webcast tomorrow morning. Trade them well. Take care. Follow us over on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Princetontrader. Check us out on Facebook and join us for a free trial at www.princetontrader.com. Trade them well.